record very well today, so I had to turn on a separate program to record. Thank you all for being here on this Thursday morning. We appreciate you taking the time. We're very excited to introduce you to Athenian Academy Charter School, which is a high-performing charter school in Pinellas County. They were the first Greek immersion charter school to open in the United States and have a very unique program with a strong staff. I'm sitting in their brand new building that they just moved into this year, so it's very exciting. It's been an exciting year for them as well. So I'm excited to share some of the great things that they're doing at their school here. Just to get started, for those of you who are unfamiliar with the Charter Support Unit, we are a free service offered to charter schools in their first 5 years. We offer a variety of services ranging from a support hotline that people can call with questions to consultations to school reviews. Next week we're starting a new service which I'm particularly excited about, which is to help new schools that are going to be opening the following year. So anybody who knows any schools that may be opening in August of next year, please pass along that at the Charter School Conference next week we're going to have a pre-session specifically geared towards those people who are opening new schools, and we're going to meet with them 4 times throughout the year to try to help them get started. So if you are new to GoToWebinar, the control panel looks a little bit like this, what you see on your screen. On the right, you either have a small little toolbar like this or a larger toolbar like this. There is a questions box where you can type in questions. We really would like to make this an engaged conversation where you're asking questions back and forth with the presenters. So if you have any questions that come up, please type them in that box. And if we don't see any, we'll try turning on the microphone and allowing you to ask your questions directly. But we encourage you to please use the question box, and I'll be monitoring that as we go. You can click this little arrow, and now that I'm sitting in the room with somebody, what color is this? Whoops.
It's an orange-red.
So an orangish-red arrow on the points either left or right. If you click on the one that points to the left, it'll expand the toolbar, and if you click on the one that points to the right, it'll shrink it down so you don't see. I'm colorblind, and I've never been in the same room when I'm giving the spiel, so I've never asked anybody. So, moving on, Athenian Academy, like I mentioned, is one of the charter schools in Pinellas County that's high performing. They were the first Greek immersion charter school. They've been doing some great things. On the screen here you can see that they are high performing. They've been A's or B's for the last 3 years, and you can see their enrollment chart on the screen as well. They've been gradually increasing their enrollment over time. Since about 2006 they've been in growth mode. They have a minority rate of about 37% and a free and reduced lunch rate of about 41%. One of the things that the principal says really makes her school great is the fact that they're able to hire great people and get them on the teams and get them acclimated to the school program, and that, I don't remember the exact quote she gave me, but she says she surrounds her people with people who can do things better than she can and then gives them the credit for what they do. So that's one of the things I really wanted to focus in on and let them share about how they do that here at the school. So today with us we have Miss Kathy Hirschelman, who is the school leader principal of the school, Miss Paige, and I don't know how to pronounce your last name. Tavaleris, who is the assistant school leader, and Miss Suzanne Mitzi, who is the middle school dean. And so I'm going to hand over the microphone to them and allow them to introduce themselves and talk a little bit about their program and how they go about developing their teams here at the school.
Good morning, everyone. I am Kathy Hirschelman, the very proud school leader of Athenian Academy Charter School. I am entering my 9th year as the school leader here, and we have an awesome program here at the school. Our school is a foreign language charter. It was founded in the year 2000, and we teach both Greek and Spanish to our students beginning in kindergarten, and they take Greek and Spanish as a required core course in kindergarten through the 5th grade, and when the students get into middle school, they are allowed to take one or both of the languages for high school credit. We have developed a end of course exam to allow the students to do so and receive high school credit, and we've had a really great experience with that. We believe here at Athenian Academy that schools should be fun and engaging, and we want to build lifelong learners here, and we believe that the goal is achieved by students being engaged and in all of the core subjects, and we want to hire people who have an enthusiasm and a passion for children. I talked to Mr. Fuller several months ago and told him I believe that my statement is that I look for people who have passion and who love children, and I can teach skills, but I cannot teach passion, and that is one thing that we absolutely believe in here at Athenian Academy. I will allow Miss Mitzi to tell you a little bit about the middle school program, and also then we're going to talk about how we structure our Greek and Spanish foreign languages here at Athenian Academy.
Good morning. Hi, my name is Suzanne Mitzi. I'm in my third year with Athenian Academy. We are currently in the process of growth, as Mr. Fuller has stated. We have 140 students in the middle school, 5th through 8th. We are structured in a block scheduling process upstairs where we have A, B days and C days. Our students are awarded hands-on lessons regularly, and we are really focused on fun. Our teachers are very hands-on, very communicate with the families and the community on a daily basis. We use technology. We have smart boards in the classrooms and very interactive lessons on a daily basis. Our students love coming to school. Again, the passion is there. Families are still very, very active, even through the middle school, where you normally see them weaning out of being active. Most of our students are high performing. The students that we see struggle are awarded extra help. We have small groups. We make sure that every student has an opportunity to be successful and are well prepared for beyond the middle school area. We also try to make sure that every student feels successful. We have teachers who do a lot of small groups. We have awarded a classroom. We have a couple of empty classrooms upstairs that we put students in so that they can have a little more time needed to be successful in the area that they're struggling in. Most of the students that come to us with a foundation because they grandfather from our elementary into our middle school. So we really have that really strong bond with their families, know what their environment looks like, and able to build on that and make them feel really, really comfortable with working with our teachers.
Okay, back with you. I'm Mrs. Herschelman. Our academic program, along with all of the core subjects that are required by the state, is combined with a Greek and Spanish hour-long language block. We have found that this works really well. We do a half an hour of Spanish and a half an hour of Greek, and then the teachers switch and teach those same classes. We have a team teaching approach here, and our students are we have three classrooms per grade level in the elementary program. So the Greek teacher will be in one kindergarten class while we have Spanish teachers in the other classes, and so on and so forth. Our Greek teachers actually come to us with an agreement through the foreign teacher exchange program in Greece, and in years past we've gotten up to 5 Greek teachers, but since the economy kind of tanked in Greece, we have recently only been receiving 1 Greek teacher per year. The Greek government sends the Greek teachers here. They pay them for their teaching services here in the United States, but we really have to help those Greek individuals acclimate to the United States. They come here basically knowing nothing about the U.S. So many of them, for the most part, have never been to the United States before. We pick them up at the airport. We help them get an apartment, help them get a car, help them with groceries, that kind of thing. It's really a unique experience for all of us. And even the staff members are really happy to be able to make that connection with someone who lives in a completely different culture than we do. And it's an exciting time. But it also is very challenging for the Greek teachers. Our Spanish teachers are local, and they come to us from many different aspects, but our Greek teachers do come to us from Greece originally, and we have, in the past few years, hired full-time some of the teachers that their visa has run out and they did not return to Greece. So it's pretty much been that when the teachers come from Greece, they want to stay. Some of them have to leave, but not willingly. So, but it's a challenging program. If you can think about the idea that we're teaching the mathematics, the language arts, sciences, all of those things, and then we throw on top of that 2 foreign languages for kindergarten students through the 8th grade, it can be quite a challenging program. So we believe that the key to success for our students really comes from our attitude and our school climate. And our culture is based on fairness for everyone, fun, and very high standards. We hold our students to a very high standard of academics, respect, responsibility. Our students are required to use their manners and answer us in yes ma'am, no ma'am, yes sir, no sir. The parents are pretty much blown away by that when they find that out, that they'll actually do that. But it's all about the culture and the environment and the expectation that these students are placed. We have modeled ourselves after the Essential 55, which is developed through the Ron Clark Academy in Georgia. And he is an awesome educator who has done great things. And we have developed our own terrific 10 based on his Essential 55. And those are just basically rules that the students live by and the teachers support very enthusiastically. We believe that we have a strong family environment, and our teachers feel that. We are very supportive of each other. Our families feel that. One of the number one things that parents say to me over and over again is that they can see that we genuinely care about those students. And that really, to me, is a factor that cannot be replaced in some of the larger schools, just not because the teachers are not great people, because most of them really are, but just because of the environment and the standards that are set by certain districts and that kind of thing. But we love the charter school environment because we do have the ability to be unique and do things that have not been done before. And it really starts with the staff. We look for passionate people. I cannot express enough the importance of people who love children, and you can pick up on that right away. We have our teachers who are applying for a job here at Athenian Academy. They have to come in and teach a lesson while they're observed by one of the administrators here, so that we can make sure that they can walk the walk and not just talk the talk. That's very important to us. We have teachers who have great resumes that they have all of the letters and numbers behind their names, and if they can't even crack a smile with a child, and that is not someone who would be on our staff here at Athenian Academy.
So to reiterate, one of the things you said before was that you really look for passion more over skills because you feel you can teach skills.
Exactly.
What are some of the key indicators that you would look for in terms of whether or not somebody's going to be a good match with your culture here?
Well, smiling would be number one, a smile on the face. You can tell a lot by a person's body language on whether they are going to be enthusiastic. You cannot fake enthusiasm, in my opinion, with people. And children are the number one people who will pick up on whether you are genuine or not.
What are some of the things that you do here to keep that passion alive?
I'm glad you asked that. Athenian Academy has a 14.5-foot, 2-story slide with pride, and it is modeled after Ron Clark's slide. And believe me, it was no easy task to get that approved by many, many individuals. But I was so driven by it, and my assistant school leader, Mrs. Tavaleris, we really worked hard to get that slide into our program. We have a token economy here at Athenian Academy where the students earn tokens, and they, for their behavior, for their good behavior, and for following the rules. And so it costs a token for the students to go down the slide with pride. And we call it the slide with pride because we want the students to be proud. It's funny, we have some people who drive by and actually think that it's a fire escape. But it's not. It is a slide, and that slide is awesome. And the students, we have pom-poms, we have slide celebrations, we're playing music, the kids are going down the slide, everyone's cheering, and this is just one of the ways that we motivate our students, and they love it. In the middle school, we have a student lounge that is fully equipped with pinball machines and arcade games and a vending machine, a ping pong table, board games, books, and it is teacher free. Of course, we do have cameras monitoring the activities in the student lounge, but they know that it is a teacher-free zone, and that is their spot. And as long as they have the appropriate behavior, they can pay tokens to go into the student lounge in a relaxed environment where they are able to just hang out. And it has been very, very successful. Very, very successful. We have teachers every morning at 8:10 a.m. We are playing music over the loudspeaker. One of their favorites is YMCA, and they're dancing in the hallways, and it's just an awesome way to get the students and the teachers moving in the morning. It's a real strong shot of caffeine for them to be having music blasting over the loudspeaker every morning at 8:10. And then it quiets down at 8:15 for our morning announcements, and we stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. We are proud of our country, and we instill that pride in our students. And on Fridays, we sing both the national anthem of the United States and the Greek national anthem. Ms. Mitzi, would you like to talk a little bit about the student lounge a little bit further and how that motivates our students and also our teachers?
Sure. As Mrs. Hirschman mentioned that we have a token economy. It works a little different in middle school. We don't have the tangible tokens in middle school. We use an Athenian bank. The Olympian Bank is a place where students have an automatic 5-token deposit on a weekly basis. Those students then have an opportunity to either save them up for future purchases. We have something that we use 3Rs, which is another program that we use here to motivate students to do well and make good choices. The students have an opportunity to save up for various things. We have a school store on campus that can use their tokens and purchase items at the school store. We also have, like we said, that wonderful student lounge. The student lounge is a very unique place for students to go and be able to be themselves and kind of decide they don't want to be in the cafeteria that day. They want to spend some time, alone time with their friends, and it's usually grade-based. So on Monday, we would have 5th graders use it. Tuesday, we have 6th graders, and so on and so forth, all the way up to 8th grade. In the student lounge, there's a boom box. They get to listen to the music of their choice. There's a wonderful ping pong table, Pac-Man machines, a vending machine that has, of course, the county appropriate food choices. Students love being in there. It's their time to be themselves and to veg out, is what they say. We're going to veg out. It helps teachers to allow students choices. When students have choices, they're more motivated to do the things that they're supposed to do. When we talk about infractions, we have a list of 5 specific rules that students must follow in order for them to earn and keep the tokens that they get automatically deposited into their account. Again, students need to be motivated, and they have to have choices. That's where the passion comes in. That's where we're holding our students accountable for making those choices. We have school-wide principles and posted throughout the school. But again, that lounge is a special place. It's unique in itself. There's no other school that I know of that students have an opportunity to make choices, and it boils down to that passion and being on a team here at Athenian Academy that has that passion and doesn't let anything get us down. Making sure that teachers are happy and keeping that climate up, and whatever it takes. That's our attitude, whatever it takes to maintain that. And parents know that we so truly care. But again, the middle school students are elated and happy to know that we're listening. We're listening to what they want and what makes them happy. And once you have that, they'll do anything. The academics come into play. It just comes together. So again, we're very unique as a school and very proud to be here and to be able to offer something different that works.
That's right. And when we're talking about our school culture and how we bring excellent teachers into our program, the moment that you walk into Athenian Academy, you know that this is a unique place, just like we've all talked about. And you can feel the excitement when you come in, especially if you're coming in while the music is blaring. One of our board members was actually here this morning, and I said, oh, step into the hallway and you can see what our 3rd grade's doing, and they're dancing to YMCA, and it just put a huge smile on his face, and we're happy about that. But we believe in educating the entire student, their spirit, their mind, their body. We want the whole child education. We, again, the academics are the top priority here, but we also believe that if a child is coming to school with a bad attitude, they don't want to come to school for whatever reason that they don't want to come to school. If we are militant in our approach, if we do not know what motivates students, if we don't care what motivates students, we are not going to have the success that we have had. We are a high-performing charter school. Our academics are paramount here, but it is only part of what we do. We love our kids. We love our people. We try to be as competitive as we can with salaries with our school district, but honestly, if we have an interview with a teacher who is solely concerned about their salary, it is a real good indicator that they're not going to be a good fit here, because we do what we do because we love it, not because we're paid the highest salary for it. We want people who will work hard just because they love children and just because they're doing the right thing for kids in our community. But we do have competitive salaries. I think that our benefit package cannot be beat. We give a generous contribution for benefit packages to our people, which are very appreciated, and we want our teachers not only to be enthusiastic, but in order to be that, they must be healthy. So we want to take care of them with that benefit package, and we do that. And going back to our school-wide principles, we have developed our terrific 10, and they are just 10 simple rules of being positive, addressing adults appropriately, supporting each other. We not only want our students to be happy themselves, but they learn how to be a part of a classroom community. They have to learn how to get along with other children. So many times we isolate children and say, oh, well, you just don't talk to that one or don't play with that one. No, our approach here at Athenian Academy is, yes, you do want to talk to that one. You want to learn what you have in common with that student. You want to learn how to get along with someone who doesn't have the same skin color as you or the hair color as you, or they're short and you're tall. We want our students to be supportive of each other, so we actually train our students how to clap in the classroom when someone has a correct answer. We cheer for each other when we have done something well. We believe that performing random acts of kindness, not only for our students, but for each other on our staff. I send little thank you notes just for the smallest things. I have little stickers that I will write the teacher's name on and go post it on their door and say, good job, thank you for the great supervision on the playground. It doesn't take much to support your teachers if they just want to feel appreciated. And that's what students want too. They just want for someone to appreciate what they're doing. The teachers want to be appreciated for what they're doing. And it's not always about their salary. A simple thank you really does it a lot. Sometimes goes a long way. Yes.
So my experience has been that part of what makes teachers happy at a school is their ability to be part of teams and have
Absolutely.
a say in the school.
Mm-hmm.
Can you talk a little bit about, I know when we talked, you mentioned you had originally done grade level teams and now you're trying to shake it up a little bit.
Absolutely.
How do you use your staff teams? How do they help with making decisions and help with maybe like data walks and things like that to pay attention to how kids are performing?
Right. Everyone is good at something, and teachers are better at some things than they are another. I found that in self-contained classrooms, you're going to have a teacher who is stronger in mathematics, stronger in science, stronger in language arts. So what we've done here at Athenian is from third grade up, we have broken our teachers into team teaching levels. One teacher teaches science, one teacher teaches language arts, one teacher teaches the math, and we combine the social studies in there as well. I am so proud of the fact that we are able to offer an entire hour of science in our third grade this year. I think that it's just completely ridiculous that there's about 15 minutes of science taught to elementary students in regular district environments. Again, not for any other reason than time and schedule and so on for the other schools. But our students here at Athenian in third grade have an hour of science. Today they're actually making homemade applesauce in the third grade classroom science. They get to have that experience. We have department heads who focus on their area of specialty, the mathematics, the language arts, and the science departments. They are in charge of the teams as far as that particular academic. They hold meetings twice a month to where data is disseminated, where they're talking about the curriculum, what's working, what's not working, and they are the teams really are in charge of what's going to happen within that curriculum. We had a curriculum team last year that looked at all of our textbooks to see if it was working for our students. We've changed some things. We did a new reading program in our K through 2. And it is absolutely phenomenal. We love it. We just had a consultant out here the other day who said that our teachers are doing an awesome job with that new reading program. It's a higher level reading program. It's a little different than what we've seen before. We use the typical journeys in our older children, but it's all about getting the teachers invested. And what they're doing so that they have a accountability on their own of what the student progress is. They really are in charge of how their students are going to perform.
So as an administrator, how do you monitor those teams to make sure that they're on track, following standards? Operationally, how does that work?
We, all three of the administrators here, myself, Ms. Tavaleris, and Ms. Mitzi, we meet with the department heads every Tuesday morning at 8:30, and we go over all of the topics that they had in their meeting. We go over ideas and suggestions for improvement. We go over, they sometimes take the lead and bring their ideas to us, and we talk about them and as a team together and decide what's going to work best for those students. But it really is critical that we make that connection with the department heads on a weekly basis, everyone being on the same page, because I can tell you that no matter how good your program is, if there's a breakdown in communication, you're dead. Simply put, you're dead.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I know I've kind of been jumping around, so I don't know, did you have other things, visuals here that you wanted to share with us?
Yesterday, this slide here that we have on the screen is yesterday we had Corey Thornton, who is a local rapper, come to our school and did an anti-bully rapping presentation for our students. We broke it down with K through 3 being the first group, and then our 4th grade through 8th grade being the second group. And our teachers got up on stage and we performed with Corey Thornton for the 4th through 8th graders, and we did a little gigolo is what it was, and the kids were so excited. And that's the thing with the staff, is that we require them to walk the walk and not just talk the talk, because again, kids are going to see right through it. If they don't have the passion for the kids and what, I don't know, we've got older teachers as well. And, I have to be honest and say that I don't even know some of the modern musics and things like that. But we get with the program. We got to keep up, and we have to know what inspires and what motivates those students. And really the bottom line is that if the students see that you're invested in them, they are going to be invested in their education because they want to please. And when they know that you're proud of them, when they know that you're invested in them, they want to please you. And that's half the battle right there. Are there any questions about any of the topics that we've gone over, or anything that you would like for us to give a little bit more information? Before you do so, I want to say one thing that is critically important is that you have an open, honest relationship with your governing board. We have an outstanding governing board, and I can go to the board with the craziest ideas and they will listen. They're open to what works here at Athenian Academy. And we have a business manager here that used to be our board president for 10 years, and he's now off on his own and doing some things here at the school. And he knows me very well, and I laugh because he says, I'll say, well, don't you trust me? And he says, Kathy, if I didn't trust you, you wouldn't be here. So, and our new board president, he's been our vice president in the past and so on, and he's an awesome guy, and he really allows the staff and administration here to take the lead on what is best for our school. They don't micromanage us, and as I said, we can come up with some really crazy ideas, like a 14.5-foot slide that I can promise you was not an inexpensive venture. And they trust us and they let us go with it, and they are really enthusiastic about it. They're like, okay. And I mean, I guess I know that the bottom line is if it doesn't work, that it's on me. So, so I make it work no matter what. But you have to have an open line of communication with your board members and not be afraid to say, hey, you're not here every day. You don't know what's going on every day. You have to be able to have that open line of communication and just say, we're here every day. We know what's going on with these kids. It's evidenced by our good test scores, the data that we've got. And of course, business is business and we have to keep within our budget, and that's critical as well. But it can be done, and it is being done. And I think that we're living proof of that.
So if you have any questions, those of you who are participating online, you can either type it into the question box, which I see one person just did, or you can click on the little hand button, and it's like raising your hand, and at that point they can open up your microphone, and you can ask your question directly as opposed to having to type it in if you rather do that. There was one question that came in a little while earlier asking if this presentation is being recorded. It is, and I am working remotely right now, so I won't be able to post it online until I get back to my office. As soon as I do get back to my office, I'll post it online, and I will email all of you the link to where you can find it, along with a write-up, kind of a summary of some of the great things that they're doing here at Athenian, so that you have a copy of that and you can take some of those ideas back to your school. Do you want to read the question?
How much time do you allocate to level 1 and level 2s?
How much time level 1, tier 1? Is that what we're talking about?
Level 1 and...
Okay, all right. Well, everyone, is on level 1 or tier 1 at the that's the mainstream classroom. But our tier 2 students are taken out 30 minutes of the classroom and worked within small groups 3 times a week, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. The classroom teachers take part of their planning time, and they work with those students 30 minutes 3 times a week.
And we also offer after-school tutoring 4 days a week.
And that is free.
In addition, which is free to our students to help the struggling tier 2s.
We actually have free tutoring written in our charter. And our teachers are happy to do that tutoring, and we have seen great success with that. What we do, instead of asking our teachers to work after their contracted hours, we set up a dismissal tutoring program to where we design a schedule, and Mrs. Tavaleris is awesome about scheduling. She's the guru of the schedules around here, and we work in that tutoring and during a dismissal period so that that particular teacher does not have car circle duty. Instead, they are doing free tutoring with the students who are signed up for that during dismissal.
I don't remember if I asked you this during your interview. Do you do anything innovative or any good ideas on how to do progress monitoring to identify those students who do qualify for higher levels of service?
We use a lot of the standard progress monitoring tools that that everyone uses. We we disseminate our data with what is the
Performance Matters.
Performance Matters. I'm sorry, I couldn't think of that. Performance Matters. And we have an awesome 64-station media lab upstairs. And one of the things that I will say is that we've done a little bit differently this year in regard to our media and using Performance Matters and fair testing and that kind of thing and all of the data, is that we actually have had after-school training sessions for parents so that they can come in and learn how to log on to Think Central, how they can access their students' textbooks online. Because believe it or not, a lot of the parents do not know how to use the technology, and some of the sites that we as educators use can be a little intimidating for parents if they've never seen them before. So we actually have training sessions for those parents so that they can come in and learn how to use those tools, and the teachers are right there to help navigate it for them.
One of the other questions is how many ELL students does the school have?
Well, you are the data person around here.
We have
so
about a dozen.
about a dozen ELLs.
And what about percent of language 1 and language 2, target language versus second language?
I'm not sure I understand
That's
the question.
the level for ESOL. I think they're asking about trying to understand your demographics of your students a little more.
Okay.
The majority of our ELL students, we have a lot of Spanish-speaking students, and we have a lot of Spanish-speaking teachers. So
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. We have a very, truthfully, we have a very low percentage of Greek-speaking families, maybe 2 or 3% at best. And a lot of the Greek families go to the parochial types of schools because they are, private schools. And that's fine. We really were not founded on the idea of having a Greek school. Our school was founded to bring the Greek language and culture to the American student. And so we are very happy with the fact that that we are able to bring that language and culture to the American student, because that's what the charter was based upon.
I'm not sure where that question came from in terms of where you're located, but if you're not familiar with the demographics of Pinellas County, the ESOL population here is very low, especially if you compare it to something in South Florida.
Right.
So the percentages here are typical of the schools in this area.
Right, it says some dual languages have 50% and 50% or 70% and 30%. What is your language balance?
Yeah, it's very uncommon in Pinellas County to have non-English speaking students.
Mm-hmm.
I know I was a principal here for I think 7 or 8 years, and I think we had one student, and she could conversationally speak English just fine. We never really had that issue in the county here. So, but I know that if you're coming, if the person asking that question is asking from Miami-Dade, they have
Absolutely.
4 to 50%
Right.
ESOL.
Right.
So
We have 400 students and 12 ESOL students.
Mm-hmm. We actually have a lot more parents who don't speak English than students. And then we just call on the Spanish teachers or the Greek teachers who would communicate, effectively with those families. But we do have kindergarten students who speak Russian, and another one who speaks Yugoslavian or some
Portuguese.
Yeah, Portuguese. So some of our students are speaking Greek, their home language, English, and Spanish also. It's always cool at the Christmas program to see 5-year-olds singing in Greek and Spanish and in English. It's really a very touching kind of event around here, the first big program, and to see them singing in the foreign languages is really awesome.
Okay, were there any other questions that anybody had? I don't see anybody raising their hand, but you can feel free to type them into the question box or click the raise your hand button and I can turn on your microphone. Were there any other slides or things that you wanted to share with us while we're waiting for other questions to come in?
I think so.
I think that one thing that maybe some school leaders are afraid to do because of, the chatting or this, that, and the other thing is to, try to bring in people that and I've been faced with that question myself, and of course, we have to follow the nepotism laws and all of that, but we really do seek out people that are referred to us by other family members, by other staff members, that I would rather deal with the person that I know than to, take a chance that someone, is not who they say they are. And we are very, very particular about who we hire here. And we really are a very big family unit. And not everyone fits into every family. And you must be that unique, awesome, wonderful person in order to get a job here. And we seek out people that we know, family members from, this one or that one, and we bring everybody together, and so that we can support each other. But I would encourage you not to be afraid to, look within and talk to your parents and talk to your staff members about people they know who they think might be a good part of the school when you're hiring. And don't be afraid of that one person who's going to say, oh, that's your friend, and well, okay, yes, that's my friend, and so therefore I'm sure that person is going to do an awesome job for our kids. One thing that I would like to mention is that when you're hiring your teachers, if you have an influx of new openings, be careful not to put your team. It comprise an entire team of new people. You want to try to put some more seasoned staff members on the first grade team or on the second grade team. Sometimes you're, surprised, and as we were actually this year, and we had a situation where I hired all new first grade teachers. I did not have one seasoned first grade teacher. So what I did do was I placed them strategically in the hallway next to other classrooms of teachers who are more seasoned. I had to do it that way. I didn't have any choice. My seasoned teacher decided at the last minute she was going to retire. She had been with us for 9 years, and she sold her house and was able to move on. But it's important that you try to build that relationship among your teams with new people and seasoned people, who the seasoned people can. It's hard when you come to a charter school sometimes to learn the rules of the school and learn all of the laws and so on. So we make sure that we have seasoned people with our new people. One thing that we do to check up and keep track and touch base with our staff members to make sure that they're staying on track is we read a book this summer called Move Your Bus, and it was written by Ron Clark. I think I mentioned him before. And we have a little gas gauge that we use, and teachers who are meeting all the characteristics of a runner and those people who are doing an outstanding job in our school, and their gas tank is 99% full, and we have our joggers, and they're awesome, and they're doing about 75% of the characteristics of a runner. And then we have those who don't belong here at Athenian Academy. If they're not jogging and they're not running, they're not doing everything that they need to do for kids. But we are moving our bus right along, and that's what we say. We actually even have little icons of buses, and I'll write little thank you notes on them and so on, and to encourage the teachers and tell them that they're moving our bus at a great speed, and put those out on their doors and so on. And we move ahead at a greater speed. And the teachers, and all of the teachers here are awesome, and many of them have been with us for a while. We have grown a little bit this year, well, actually a lot, and we increased our student population by about 120 students this year in our brand new facility that we're absolutely excited about. That also is one of the things that I think is important in your schools. If you have the ability to make sure that your environment, I know we were in a building that was old and broken down, and we did everything that we could do to make it a little more modern and make it more lively, but it was just such an awesome experience for the teachers to come in and have this brand new beautiful facility to start their year in. And we thank the people that helped us, make that happen for the teachers and for the students this year. It was great to see some of our returning students who had been in that other building come into the new building and see the slide and see the classrooms and the smart boards and everything that we have here at the new facility.
So you mentioned that you grew about 120 students this year. I'm throwing this question out of the blue, so feel free to ignore it if you don't like it. What growing pains did you go through, and how have you had to try to address adding enough staff to add that many new students, and to be able to acclimate that growth effectively?
Well, the growing pains that we experienced were really not, I mean, you would think that they were going to be, astronomical with 120 new students, but they really weren't. The technical things like how to move the car circle effectively and not have parents sitting in the car circle for an hour and a half, which is what happened the first couple days, staffing that and seeing, I don't know what you guys have out there in your schools, but our staff, they do the lunchroom duty, they do the car circle duty, they do the after-school tutoring, and they're phenomenal people. And the little things that you wouldn't think about, again, like the car circle, like where do we put people for open house because we didn't plan for the parking and, that kind of thing. And even though that was all in design of the facility, parking was an issue right away.
Mm-hmm.
And so as far as the staffing goes, we pre-planned for that. We had the vision of how many students we wanted to have the first year and the growth factor for the following years. But the staffing was all set in motion. We didn't really have any glitches with that, just training the new staff and so on. But we kind of took the approach that everyone was new this year because we had this brand new facility and we were all going to take it one day at a time, and putting it under our belt as the first year was the learning year of, and I even got lost in the hallways a couple times. I really did. I joked about having to have a GPS for the first 2 weeks because I found myself walking into the boys' bathroom one time. Fortunately, it was after school. So, but yeah, it was the technical little things, that, and we really, I just have to say that with the teamwork that we have here, everyone pulling together, it really has been pretty smooth. I mean, with the exception of, I would have to say, the car circle.
I think
I would say also that even though we increased by 100 students, we kept that family feeling,
Absolutely.
which that was essential to us, that we wanted our new families to be welcomed into our school and feel like they were part of a family. And I think that we achieved that even with the growth.
Absolutely. Yes, we were bound and determined that we were not going to change the core of who we are, regardless of how many new students we have come in. And we are at a little over 400 now, and our vision is to go up to 600, or that growth model. But we are determined that we will continue to be supportive and enthusiastic, and really just find out what makes these kids tick, because we have seen that when we really do take that time to invest in them, that the results are evident. We're a high-performing charter school, and that's what we believe in.
Right, and students want someone that believes in them, and we find out what motivates them, and they know we believe in them, and they achieve.
Yep, and your team is key. It starts with your board being open, goes down to your leadership, because it all trickles down after that. If your leadership is enthusiastic and motivating to the staff members and teachers, instructional team, then that trickles down into the students. And I mean, who doesn't want to come to a fun, enthusiastic place to work?
Okay, I think that's a great place to end it, and we're right at 11 o'clock, so a good time to stop here. Thank you, everybody, for joining us on the call. We hope that this has been beneficial to you. As I mentioned, it will be recorded, so if you know of other schools that might benefit from hearing the experiences here at Athenian Academy, please feel free to pass along that recording when I email it on to you later today. The Charter Support Unit is paid for out of the CSP grant, which is from the federal government. And in case you've never done that grant, they really like their paperwork. So one of the things that we need to do is some accountability back to the state about what we're doing. If you wouldn't mind taking a moment to complete this survey. It's very short, I promise. The screenshot is the entire survey, but it's just bit.ly/CSU SL for Spotlight. If you wouldn't mind taking a moment to fill that out, we would really appreciate it, and I will put that link in the email that I send to you as well. If you have any other questions or there's anything else that the support unit can assist you with, please feel free to reach out. Our website is on the screen, as well as my phone number. If you need to get a hold of me, feel free to give me a call, and we're always here to help in any way that we can. We do have upcoming webinars scheduled. We're taking next week off because we're going to be at the conference. We hope to see you there. The following week, we're going to be doing a presentation on conflicts of interest, ethics, and nepotism, which should be very exciting. And then the week after that, we'll be talking about ESC inclusionary practices. And then the schedule for the spring is not on our website yet. It will be coming up shortly. But January 14th, we're going to be talking about how to become an accredited school. And on January 28th, we're going to be talking about behavioral data that could support your MTSS processes. And so the rest of the schedule for the spring will be posted on our website very soon. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. Especially thank you to Athenian Academy for doing this presentation and being part of our Spotlight School series. We hope that this has been beneficial for everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Goodbye.